comedy set. That's fine. Hey, how you guys doing? Where the first guy who was up here at? There he is. Hey, you said you were in jail, and you said that one of the most disgusting things you saw in there was a guy picking his nose. Be thankful. I was in a place where I saw a guy picking his butt and eating it. Come on. It's pretty bad when the food tastes like shit. But then, of course, you have to wonder, where did you actually learn to compare that particular flavor? That's just... if you actually think about some of the things people say, it's just like, where do you get these comparisons? Like, who made the first deal of shit for brains? Think about this. Somebody would have had to have actually traded shit for their brains. Who got cheated in this one? Seriously. If you think about some of the idiotic statements people make, like, burns like hell. Like, when were you there? That's one of the reasons I realized I could never actually make it as a Catholic priest. I'm too much of a fucking smartass. Because I can imagine going into one of these exorcisms and this girl staring at me like, your mother sucks cocks in hell. I'm like, yeah, so? I mean, like, that's kind of the thing you do to your husband in places. I mean, you know what? At least I don't have to be there. It's like, you know, if I don't comment about my stepdad, you know. They're happy, he can be miserable. I mean, hey, he made the deal. It's like one of those, you know, you do this, I'll send you to hell. It's like one of those, you know what? Go ahead. It's like, you know, I'm going to send your mom to hell. It's like one of those, have fun. I just had one of those really messed up childhoods because of my mom. My mom was one of those people that would love to simply... She didn't give me that talk about, you know, the birds and the bees. It was one of those, would you like to know how you were born? And the circumstances. I'm like, no, Mom. I have a videotape. No, please, no. I still had to watch it. Most terrifying thing I've ever had to see. After the birds, you don't need the birds and the bees talk after that. You need a barf bucket. It's like just, if you think about something like this, if you ever tell someone where you learned how to drive, my first impression is, so you must have Jedi reflexes, huh? They're like, I learned to drive here in Las Vegas. Yeah, Jedi reflexes. More Sith, but... Yeah, because I'm a little on the dark side. My mentality is so far on the dark side, Darth Sidious is sitting there saying, Master, Master, Darth, you answer to him. Like, I sit there and think up, every time somebody says something to me, the first thing I'm thinking is, what kind of weird shit are they asking me? Like, hi! No, but I wish I was. Although I've never been that way in my time in my life. It's like, you know, still be nice to try. Oh, hello! Yes, it is, isn't it? Bye! No, I'm straight, thanks. It's just one of those, some of the weird things you say, because there are so many homonyms, so many different puns, people do not take these things into account. And quite frankly, with the slang and all that stuff you think about, you just have a lot of fun with word games. It's just... if you actually break down some of the things people say on a given day, you could have a lot of fun. Think about this. The other day, I had to go to the hospital because I broke a rib. So, and I'm one of those anti-going to doctors, pharmacies, stuff like that. And I found myself breaking down and going, God, why am I here? I found myself in a place down a very, very dark path where I realized I was going in that path of drugs. I realized I didn't want to be there, and I was passing up a lot of good things as I was going. As I was walking into this pharmacy, I realized this is a really dark path for me. Then I happened to look down at the carpet on the floor. What do you know? There's a black path all the way to the pharmacy, while everything else was in that gray area. I'm like, did anyone else notice this? 1 minute? Oh, yeah. So before I sign off on this, I'm gonna give you guys a little fun thing you guys can do. If you ever want to have a good laugh, all you have to do is bring in the pocket change into a pawn shop. And here's why. You take it up, and you make sure you have nothing but like less than $1. You bring it up to their coin person, and you say, do I have anything here that's worth anything special? They'll look over it and they say, nah, just a bunch of commons. Then you look them right in the face and you say, so what you're saying is I've got a bunch of common sense and you don't think that's worth anything. So that look on their face is just like, oh shit, did you really just, yeah. And what's funny is, did any of you guys notice the floor in here? Bunch of common sense everywhere. Have a good night.